This episode of Switchcraft is brought to you by patrons like Dan Youster. Support Switchcraft and my other content for as little as $1 and get exclusive rewards at patreon.com/runjumpstomp. Episode 141 of Switchcraft is brought to you by the NES Archive. Make sure that you head on over to youtube.com/runjumpstomp, and there you're going to find my series all about games that were released on the North American Nintendo Entertainment System. I'm going through the games one game at a time, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So make sure that you head on over to youtube.com/runjumpstomp. Subscribe over there, hit that little bell so that you get notifications when a new video goes up. Each video is about 5 to 10 minutes long, and I go into the history of the game and basically how that game came together. Most of the time, Switchcraft is recorded live 3 times a week, U.S. Eastern, on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Now, I recorded this episode actually Tuesday night because I was lucky enough to interview the guys that made Super One More Jump. That's all that's going to be this episode because I'm out of town this weekend, but I was able to record the episode early so that I made sure that you guys got 3 episodes a week. Have a good one, and I'll see you all on, gosh, I don't know what day, Tuesday.
Okie dokie.
Hey, everybody. I am here with Brody Duncanson and Dave Lockman from Primo Games. They are the creators of Super One More Jump for the Nintendo Switch, as well as other platforms. Thanks so much for coming on the show, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yep, it's all good.
So I usually like to start out with something that's a little less business related. I guess I'll start with you, Brody. I'm looking for your history as a gamer. What's the first game that you remember playing?
Prince of Persia, I think, on like 386 or 486.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Goes back a bit.
Yeah. That's most of the time I get much more recent stuff. So Prince of Persia, I put a lot of hours into Prince of Persia. Did you ever finish that game?
It was a long time ago. I do not remember. I do remember like certain screens in my head, but I was pretty young at that time.
And what about you, Dave?
Well, unlike Brody, I have beaten Prince of Persia.
Oh.
But I can go... my first game was a game called Shuffle Puck on the black and white Mac. So we're going way back as well.
Was that like a Pong clone?
It was kind of like Pong. You would play like air hockey against weird aliens and drunk people, and yeah, it's a strange game, but it holds a lot to my heart.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's quite often I feel like we hold with a whole lot of reverence the stuff that we experienced when we were younger, whether it was good or bad. I never played Shuffle Puck, but I played a lot of Prince of Persia, and just for the record, I never beat that game. It was way too hard. What do you guys do that has nothing to do with video games, just for fun? Brody?
Generally go hiking with friends. It's my escape from the computer monitors. Get out in the nature a bit.
Do you get to do that often, or as part of Primo Games, you're trapped inside most of the time?
Generally the weekends is nice to do it, but we work from home, so it's hard to separate work from socialism, like social activities sometimes.
Oh yeah, I understand, because it's like you're always at the office, and because you're doing what you love to do, you probably are, you're supposed to be not at work, but your brain's still at work because you can't leave work. Is that what you mean?
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. Like you'll be cooking dinner and you're like, oh wait, I've got a solution for that problem I've been having. Let me just go fix it. And that sort of stretches into the night.
What about you, Dave? What do you do outside of video games just to get out?
I play basketball when I can. But apart from that, I kind of just chill out and zone away from video games. I listen to a lot of music. I try to make music, but it's not very good. And yeah, I just the regular sort of things, I guess, movies and chilling out. I'm the same. I sit at the computer and work, and I kind of feel guilty if I'm not working and I'm home. So I guess I work a lot on video games and think about it a lot.
So you mentioned music. If let's say you're driving down the road, what is it that you listening to today? Like what's your the thing that you're listening to recently?
Recently, I've been listening to a lot. I listen to a lot of hip hop. So hip hop's my main sort of genre. And recently, I've just been getting back into the old school stuff. I've been listening to Tribe Called Quest a lot lately. So that's been my go-to in my car recently.
Do you guys sing along in the car? I know I do. I can't help it.
I try to.
I'm tone deaf. I'm terrible.
Well, that shouldn't. Don't let that stop you, Brody. That shouldn't stop you.
Yeah, I'm a white Australian guy, so trying to sound like Tribe Called Quest isn't too easy.
All right, so we'll start with you, Dave. What's your job on the dev team? Well, actually, before we get there, how many people are on your team? Or is it just the two of you?
Yeah, just the two of us.
All right. So who does what?
So Brody does all of the programming, and a little bit of the design, like the UI design, the UX design, and he does a few other things. And then I do the like sort of main design, the game design. So I did all the levels, had input on the art and the UX and that kind of thing.
So you're the one that we should be angry at when
yes,
when we die for the 58th
Direct
time in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. So if you don't like the levels, you can send the emails my way.
All right. Well, I don't think it's a case of not liking the levels. I think it's a case of we just haven't gotten good yet. So you guys share, like, you guys started in what, 2015?
Yeah, officially. We started a bit earlier than that.
We like this. So we put a version of this game out on mobiles devices a couple of years ago. That was our first game. So we picked up Unity to learn how to develop a game, and it turned into a much bigger project than we anticipated.
So you said it's your first game now. What did you do before you made Primo Games? Were you like working for other development studios, or were you in college, or what?
We met at university for game design.
Oh, okay. And have you only worked on Super One More Jump, or have you worked on other games before that?
We've made plenty of games. We've worked on a lot of games. When we say first game, we meant first like retail sort of game.
Mm-hmm.
So during uni and college, and in our spare time, we've made a lot of tiny little games and prototypes and that kind of thing. But One More Jump was the first game we actually finished and released.
What engine did you guys use for it?
Unity.
Yeah.
Oh, you just used Unity? So did that make porting to the Switch pretty easy?
Yeah, it was, I wouldn't say a breeze, but definitely went along a lot of the way to helping.
How long do you think it took you guys to bring the game? Like when you said, maybe I'm just going to imagine that I was in the room and Brody turns to Dave and says, we should put this on the Switch. How long did it take you from that point until the end where, the ship date? How long did that take?
So it only took a couple of weeks to get it running on the system, with most of the system specific features running okay. But then we worked with the publisher to get some pixel artists to make some different themes for us, and sort of that whole process and implementing all that and getting it all nailed down took a couple of months, probably 4 to 5 months all up.
Yeah, and Brody built the multiplayer.
So adding those sort of Switch specific features as well. But like in terms of just getting a game ported over to a Switch using Unity was a very easy process.
Oh, that's good to hear. You mentioned system-specific features. You mean like HD Rumble, right?
Yeah, and the Switch is kind of unique where it has a lot of different control styles. So you need to consider, is it docked? Is it handheld? Is it Joy-Con left, Joy-Con right, Pro Controller? How all those interact, and how you adjust for what gamepad style they're using.
Oh, gotcha. So, can you go into it all? Like, what's a lot of developers haven't really had to deal with this yet because the Switch is so new. But what's it like dealing with HD Rumble compared to regular Rumble on like other controllers?
It's basically you take an audio file and it converts it into, I guess, certain frequencies to play back. So you can take like your death sound and convert it. So I guess it feels like the sound. It's sort of nuanced, and rather than just sort of turning on a high frequency rumble or a low frequency rumble, you can get a lot of variety out of it.
That's interesting. I had no idea that that's the way it worked. I mean, I knew that like some developers had made sounds with the Joy-Cons, but I had no idea that it was basically an audio file. That's super interesting.
It's like a conversion process, but that's kind of where you start with.
Oh, so, very cool. Are you guys going to be doing any DLC for Super One More Jump, or are you moving on to another project?
We added a vault section, which is basically when we want to add some new content in, we can just throw it in there. We don't have to mess with, trying to fit in new levels into a difficulty curve. We can just sort of keep things updated there.
So, like that's free DLC or paid DLC?
Free.
I don't have any plans for paid. Just we enjoy the game. Just want to keep it updated. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Have you guys talked to Nintendo at all about trying to get like Nintendo themed content? I noticed that you guys have a lot of artwork from various content creators. Have you talked to Nintendo about maybe getting like some Nintendo themed stuff into Super One More Jump at all?
No, I think that would be for SMG to handle. But I think you have to be. I think that's like a big step to get Nintendo content on your product.
Awesome. So
you got to be protective of your IP.
Yes, of course. Although Nintendo's been a lot more freewheeling in 2017 than they ever have in the past. So you never know. Cross your fingers, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we never tried. So
yeah.
But yeah.
So what's next for you guys? What is it that you're going to be working on next after maybe the Vault? Do you have another game idea that you're planning on bringing, or are you going to bring some of your other mobile games? Because you have other mobile games that you've developed, correct?
No. So we only did One More Jump for SMG.
Okay.
All the other One More. So the game wasn't originally called One More Jump or anything. SMG had their own series, so they had already released One More Line and One More Dash, and basically they saw us posting GIFs on Twitter and said, "Hey, do you guys want to come and work together and turn your game into a One More game?" And we were like, "Yeah, that sounds pretty cool."
So Twitter GIFs is what got you your gig.
Yeah. So
Yep.
SMG, I think they posted a picture on Twitter, and I liked the picture, and then he must have Ashley from SMG must have gone into my account and seen my GIFs and retweeted my GIFs, and then sent me a message saying, "Hey, let's have a chat."
That's awesome.
And that's what led. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, talk about serendipity. That's really great. So what if you don't have other games that you need to port? What's next on the horizon? Do you guys have a project that you're already working on, or is it too early to talk about? What's next?
Yeah, we can't talk about anything, but we've got a couple projects that we're working on, but yeah, I don't think we're allowed to say anything about them yet. They're very early as well. Or not early, but not anywhere near finished.
Gotcha.
When there's just two of you, you spend a lot of your focus on one game. There's not a lot of free time to branch out too much.
Yeah, so we were, we were not deep, but we were pretty well into development for a new game when SMG said, hey, let's do a Switch version. And we were like, okay. So we dropped that and worked on the Switch version, and now we've only had a week or so to sort of, take it all in.
Are they going to be, are they publishing your next one, or are you guys like still shopping, or is that again something that you can't talk about?
Well, that's something we haven't even thought about, to be honest, yet.
You're not at that spot yet. I understand.
Yeah.
So, I guess we'll leave it with one more question that has nothing to do with your game. What is a game that you love that most people don't, as your guilty pleasure game? We'll start with Brody. What do you think?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. Okay. I don't know if it's universally hated, but a Majora's Mask is pretty contentious, and I loved that as a kid.
That's a terrible
Legend of Zelda.
That's a terrible
Hey, everyone I meet tells me, it's the bad version. It's nowhere near as good.
Everybody loves Majora's Mask, though.
Okay.
Maybe you didn't want to step on any toes. How about you, Dave?
I like lots of bad games, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're bad games, but Dynasty Warriors gets a pretty bad rap in the media, and I think they're awesome games.
Did you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say. Apart from that, I play a lot of weird arcade games that probably a lot of people don't know about. So,
like Shuffle Puck.
Yeah, Shuffle Pucks. People know about Shuffle Puck. Don't underestimate Shuffle Puck.
I'm gonna look up videos for it on YouTube right after I hang up.
They remade it for Steam, but it's not as good. But it's got some clout.
Awesome.
But for newer games, I guess I don't know if people like Earth Defense Force, but I love Earth Defense Force.
I haven't even heard of that.
Okay, Earth Defense Force is just a game where you run around shooting giant insects, and that's literally all you do.
Fair enough.
But,
I mean, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it is.
Well, thank you guys for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Where is it that people can find your gifts online so that maybe you can make some more games?
Well, you can just follow us at Primo Games on Twitter.
Awesome. And your game came out when?
It came out on last Thursday on the 25th. So it's available right now.
Awesome.
For $7. It's cheap.
It is a cheap game, and it doesn't play like a cheap game. It's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing it for the review. So I appreciate you guys coming on the show, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I appreciate it.
Well, everyone, that's all the time that we have for today. If there's a story that I missed or a topic that you would like discussed, please let me know. If you're looking for ways to support the show, you can head on over to runjumpstomp.com/support. There you'll find links to my wife's Etsy shop, where we sell nerd-themed fabric goods, my Amazon affiliate link, as well as a link to the Patreon. Make sure that you head on over there at runjumpstomp.com/support. Special thanks to Tom Winter and Noteblock for the music of the episode. And of course, thank you very much to my guests for joining me. Make sure you check out their game, Super One More Jump, on the Nintendo Switch. Switchcraft is brought to you by Audible. Audible is the publisher and distributor of the world's largest selection of digital audiobooks and spoken word content. Audible customers can listen anytime and anywhere to professionally narrated audiobooks across a wide range of genres, including bestsellers, new releases, sci-fi, romances, classics, and more. Get 2 free audiobooks to start. After 30 days, if you decide to cancel, you get to keep the books. If you decide to stay on, and you probably will, get 1 book every month for $14.95. In addition, you also get 30% off the price of additional audiobook purchases. Cancel anytime. Your books are yours to keep even if you cancel. You can sign up today for your free 30-day trial at runjumpstomp.com/audible and directly support the show.